I slept great. It was the best night's sleep I've had in 6 weeks. I've been working with insomnia, had went to an allergist, had went to a sleep disorder therapist, and basically have been managing my sleep, getting to sleep at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I get up at 7:30. One of the things they tell people who have insomnia is you always should get up at the same time every day, no matter if you got 1 hour of sleep or 9 hours of sleep. And last night I fell asleep a little after midnight, and then I woke up at 4 in the morning and I felt great. I actually stayed up for about an hour and read and did some releasing for a period of time during an hour. Fell back to sleep about 5:30 and woke up at 7:30, and so I got about 6 hours of sleep. That's the most I've gotten in 6 weeks, and I feel real good. Okay.
The Sedona Method actually gave me life. Sounds kind of funny, but it got me in touch with some feelings that I hadn't ever really been in touch with before, and it got me in touch with the ability to actually let them go. And as a result of that, I feel alive. I didn't feel alive before I had the method. It's not a very glamorous thing to say, but it's the truth.
So morning everybody, welcome back. Welcome back those of you at home. We're doing some really new and exciting things today on this tape. But I just wanted to start off by saying and reminding something to you all. And that very simply is that releasing is easy. It's very easy. That you don't actually have to do anything. All you have to do is stop holding it back. And as you do that more and more, it's just going to get easier and easier. The other thing is, just keep in mind, releasing, letting go is just a decision. And only you can make that decision. I can't make it for you. Hal can't make it for you. You're the one in charge. It's up to you to decide. So you might want to just hold that in mind as you're releasing and as we're working on today's tape. What we're going to do now is do some group releasing. We're going to be releasing in the group here and also with our home viewer, and just taking some specifics from last night or this morning and about your releasing in general and seeing what feelings are there. Okay, so just get comfortable and put your attention on your feeling center. And let's do some releasing. You might want to make sure that you have the chart in front of you. That way you can refer to any feelings if you're not sure where they go or you're not sure quite what you're feeling. But anyway, let's get started. Think about something that happened either last night or this morning, or since you last watched the tape, your last tape. Just find a specific that you have a feeling about. And just see what that feeling is. Allow yourself to identify it on the chart. Just allow yourself now to feel that feeling. Whatever that feeling is, could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Now go back and look inside again and feel that feeling again. Feel the remainder of the feeling there. Could you let it release? If you could, would you? And if you would, when would you let it go? Okay. Now just think back again since you last watched the tape. Perhaps there was someone you saw or spoke with that you have a feeling about. Just think of who you might have seen, who you might have spoken to, what feelings might be there. Just allow yourself to identify your now feeling about that person. Now just let yourself feel the feeling. Just really allow yourself to feel it. Could you decide to let that feeling go? Would you decide to let it go? And when would you let it go? And when you think of that person again, see if you can feel any more of that remaining feeling. There's probably more there. Just allow yourself to feel it again. Now could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Was there anything that you were doing last night or this morning, or since you last watched the tape, any action you had to take that you have a feeling about? And just allow yourself to feel your now feeling about that. Just really let yourself feel that feeling, whatever it is. Could you let that feeling go? It's just a feeling. Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Okay. Now let's take a look now. Let's see how you're feeling about your releasing so far. Just look on the chart to help you identify the feeling there and the emotion that comes under. And whatever the feeling is, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let that feeling go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Just see if there's any more of that remaining feeling there. Feel it again. Could you let it release? If you could, would you? And if you would, when would you let it go? And let's see, how do you feel about working on this tape today? Is there a feeling there about doing that? And if there is, allow yourself to feel that feeling you're now feeling about what we'll be doing today. Just sitting watching. Whatever that feeling is, allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? And when would you let it go? See if there's any more remaining of that feeling there. Just allow yourself to feel it. Could you decide to let it go? Would you decide to let it go? When would you decide to let it go? Okay, good. You should be really feeling quite relaxed by now. You might want to take a moment to write in your games book what you released also. So those of you at home and those of you here, I'd like you to turn in your workbooks to the page marked Games. I'd like to reinforce with all of you the importance of writing your games. It's really a very important part of using the release technique and developing the process for yourself. As I mentioned yesterday, or in the previous tape, it is important to validate yourself for the good things that you're doing, the good things that you're experiencing, instead of just associating with the negative all of the time. Games can be large or they can be small. It doesn't matter, they're all as important. And you'll find, just look for internally. People sometimes say, well, how do I know if it's a game? The real key is to look inside and to see if you're now feeling good when before you were feeling bad. It's really very simple, but if you'll keep checking that, then you'll have a greater understanding of whether you released or not and whether you've had a game. There's a list of things here, as you can see, that you're also going to start to look forward to and may already be experiencing in terms of your gains. And let me pick a few to go over with you. You'll notice already positive changes in attitude or behavior. If you notice that you're doing something differently or handling a situation differently than you were before, that's your releasing. That is a gain. We all often, carry on in habits, or we have routines that we stick to because we're comfortable with them, because we don't try anything else. You'll find that as you release, you start to kind of maybe break some of those. You start to notice that, for instance, Greg, sleeping, he started to sleep better, slept for a longer time. That's a change in behavior. It's a gain. If you notice that perhaps you got out of bed earlier this morning than you usually do, and with energy, that's a reflection of your releasing. It's a gain, even if you weren't specifically releasing on what time to get up in the morning. So it's important to acknowledge that and look for it. You'll see it everywhere. As you start releasing, you'll really start to see it in all different areas of your life. Another one here is more effective communication. You'll really notice that as you use the technique, the gains in this area are just wonderful. You'll see that you have better relationships with your co-workers, with your significant others, because what you're doing is releasing your feelings in the way of you being able to communicate effectively with that person. Not only that, they hear you a lot easier. You don't have to push so much, or you don't have to run into other people's feelings. You'll also understand other people's feelings that much more. And when you have an understanding too, it will help you let go. So you're not always judging other people or having so many feelings about other people. You're able to let those go. And that improves communication just tremendously. You'll find that you have much greater flexibility. Maybe when you were set in doing things a certain way, you'll start thinking of, ideas of how you could do the same thing in a different way. Or when someone says to you, no, they don't want to do that, normally you would insist. Maybe you'll release instead and find that it's okay to do it something somebody else's way, and it's all right. You'll just notice that when we feel that we have to be kind of rigid in our decisions, and often I think we are, then it doesn't allow for any flexibility. And that creates stress because we want things our way and we want them to be a certain way. And as you release, that just loosens up. And you're able to really just do what is appropriate in the moment. We've also had many graduates share over the years how easy it is for them to complete things. You may be somebody who procrastinates or puts things off. And we have found over and over again, people who are releasing and using the technique complete things much more easily, much more effectively, much faster. There's a game that I'd like to share really with you from a graduate who really had exactly this happen. And he was writing a screenplay. He'd been writing it for 10 years. And he took the course. And he called up shortly after taking the course. And he said, you'll never guess what, I have done it. I finished it. I have finished my screenplay after 10 years. And what I saw was it was just all the feelings about people seeing my work, all the feelings, and he said, and I just let go of them all. And in fact, I've even got people interested in what I've written. So you'll find that for yourself, whether it be small things or projects that you're working on, you'll find them much easier to complete. You'll also find that you have a lot more insights and realizations about yourself. Those are important too, and make sure that you write those down. They'll help you in your releasing, both when you think of it and also in the future, just when you flick through your gains book and you see how that helped you in the past. It will be there to help you again. Another thing is you'll find that you'll be a lot more relaxed and confident in action. When we're all under pressure, but we have to get things done, you'll find that as you use the technique, when a stressful situation or you're in that action, having to take that action, you use the technique then, you don't feel stressed when you take it, when you take the appropriate action or doing what you need to do, especially if it's something new. That can often stir up more feelings inside. When you release, you will find that you're able to be a lot more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you're more confident. And when you're more confident, you're just going to achieve that much more. It's something that again and again graduates have reported to us. And they just can accomplish so much more. You'll also find that you handle change much more effectively. We don't really like things to change much. We like them to be the way they are, because then it doesn't stir up our feelings. And you'll find that new beginnings or changes are that much easier to deal with. If you're moving house or changing job, you'll find that that stirs up feelings there. And you'll find that when you release, it makes that transition so much smoother and so much easier to deal with that it's just going to benefit you tremendously. You'll also notice, quite simply, an increase in positive feelings. You'll just be aware of your positive feelings more. As you let go of your negative feelings, what's naturally there is a positive person. And you'll be more and more aware of that and relating to that. And obviously in relation to that, you'll notice a decrease in your negative feelings. So your whole overall picture is going to change also. There are lots of things about gains. You're going to have your own things that you can add to this list. You'll notice many, many different things. This is just a sample of the sort of things that you can begin to expect. And also just a reminder, do write down, even if it's a small gain that you have. Because those small feelings that we release, maybe you get in the shower, for instance, and there's no soap in the shower. Doesn't that always bring up a feeling? You have to get out, you're wet, you go and get the soap, you get back in. It's not the same. If you're to release in that moment, you'll find it just so much, you'll enjoy it so much more. It won't hold you back. Very often, those things accumulate. So you left the soap out of the shower, and then you lose your keys before you try to get to work. And then you sit in a traffic jam on the freeway. And by the time you get to work, you're feeling stressed. Now, if you'll release as you go along and do that, so in those situations as they occur, it's not going to be building. It's not going to be accumulating. So you're going to be releasing that much more effectively throughout your day. And you're going to notice many more things then that you can carry on adding to this list yourself. Okay. We'll also be introducing this morning some new material that's really going to accelerate your releasing. You'll remember on the first tape that Hale mentioned we were going to be releasing our good feelings too. And there's a reason for this. Obviously, we have this lifetime habit of holding on to our feelings. And so we're going to take it one step further now and show you how also to release good feelings. You're going to feel so much better. People ask me, well, why would I want to let go of a good feeling? I like that feeling. But if you'll let go of a good feeling, you can feel even better. And what's wrong with that? If you think about it, in that you're already feeling good, but can't you feel any better? For instance, if you're in the courageousness area on the chart, what's wrong with feeling an acceptance or a peaceful feeling? So very often, we kind of settle for less. We think that because we feel good, we better hold on to that feeling as tight as we can because maybe it won't come back. You know, and we feel we have to hold on to the good feelings. You don't at all. In fact, that just reinforces your habit of holding on. You have to be willing to let go of all of the feelings, really, and allow the next good feeling to be there. Allow yourself to feel even better than that. So we're going to be doing some things this morning so you can be practicing that, releasing the good feelings also. Okay, so those of you at home and those of you here, I'd like you to turn to the page that says likes and dislikes in your notebook. This is a very powerful releasing sheet that you can use on anything you would like to do additional releasing on. It's very effective with people, releasing on people, on situations, on anything really. If you have a co-worker you have feelings about, or your boss, or your mate, if you have feelings about moving house, or changing job, whatever it is. So what I'd like you to do now is to take a few moments and just think of a topic or an area that you would like to focus on in using this sheet. And I'll show you how to use it. Now this worksheet is a little different from the others that we've worked on so far. What we'll be doing is, first of all, we'll be taking something that you like about the particular topic you've chosen and seeing what your now feeling is about that, releasing it, checking off the let go column and the feel good, and then we'll be going to a dislike, finding something that you dislike about your particular topic. And we're going to be going back and forth. We're not going to be just writing a list on what you like about it and what you dislike. That way you'll be keeping a balance with your releasing, and you're not going to just be focusing on the positive or just on the negative. So it's really going to create a nice flow with your releasing. So who would like to work first?
I would.
Michael, what's your topic?
Getting older.
Okay, great, wonderful. So what is it that you like about getting older?
I think you get smarter. You gain wisdom.
Okay, just make a note of that under the column that says, what do I like about that?
Okay.
Okay. And how does that make you feel, Michael?
I kind of feel proud.
Okay, so just make a note of the pride feeling, feel proud.
Okay.
Okay. Now just allow yourself to feel that feeling of pride.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
I could.
If you could, would you?
Yeah, I would.
Good. When would you let it go?
It went away.
Okay, good. Let's check back again. See if there's any remaining there. Just check and see.
I feel happier now
Okay.
about it.
Let's check the pride in the let go column then. Okay. And when you think about that again, what's the feeling there now?
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Okay, great. Where would you put that on the chart? Feels good?
Maybe courageousness or acceptance. in there
Okay,
somewhere.
good. Just make a note of that under what's my now feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Now let's release that good feeling. Just allow yourself, Michael, to feel the courageous feeling.
Okay.
Okay. Now could you let that feeling go?
Yes, I could.
If you could, would you?
I would.
When would you let that go? Okay, good. Is there any more of it there? More of it just leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Just check again, is there more of the courageousness? I don't even need to ask you, I don't think.
Every time I touch it, I laugh.
Just letting go of more.
Yeah,
Well, how are you feeling now?
yeah, it feels calm.
Good. Where would you put the calm feeling?
It's peace.
Yes. So check off letting go of the courageousness. And why don't we do a release on the calm feeling too?
Okay.
Okay. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel
See,
it.
perhaps you can feel even more of it when you let go. Just let yourself feel it. Could you allow it to release?
I could.
Good. Would you?
Yeah, I would.
When?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it went away.
Okay, so you can give yourself a check there too.
Okay.
Still feeling good?
Yeah, feel pretty good.
Let's pick a dislike now. What's something that you dislike about getting older?
It's closer to the end.
Okay, just make a note of that.
Okay.
It's closer to the end.
Okay.
Okay. Now what now feeling does that stir up? When you think of being closer to the end.
Grief.
Okay. Just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that grief feeling. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Good. Would you?
I would.
When would you let it go? All right.
Okay, well, yeah.
Just see if there's any more of it there. Take a look again when you think about being nearer to the end. Can you feel any more of that grief feeling?
No, it feels more like anger.
Okay. So just make a note of the anger there under what's my now feeling.
Okay.
And just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that feeling of anger.
Okay.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
When would you let it go?
You know.
All right. See if you can feel it again.
Okay.
Just feel the remaining anger there.
Okay.
Okay. Could you let go of more of that anger feeling?
Yeah, it went away.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can give yourself a check there.
Okay.
And let's just check again. And when you think about being nearer the end, what's the feeling there now?
Oh, it seems kind of comical.
Okay. Where would you put that on the chart?
Wherever absurdity is. Probably courageousness.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, let's do a release on that too.
Okay.
Might want to make a note of the courageousness under what's my now feeling.
Okay.
Okay. Now just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that courageous feeling. Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
Good. When?
Now.
All right. Just look again, see if there's any remaining there.
Yes.
Okay. Just letting it go.
Yeah.
Is there any more there?
A smidgen, yeah.
Not for long, huh? Okay. So give yourself a check on the courageousness column.
Okay.
Let's go back to another like. What's something else that you like about getting older?
The alternative is worse.
Just make a note of that. Some would agree and some wouldn't. Okay.
Okay.
And how does that make you feel? What's your now feeling about that?
I'm grateful.
Okay. Where would you put that on the charts? That grateful feeling?
Grateful. Maybe pride, maybe acceptance, somewhere in there. Maybe a little of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you feel more strongly right now, Michael?
Maybe pride.
Okay. Just make a note of the pride feeling.
Okay.
And just allow yourself to feel that feeling of pride. Can you feel it?
I can.
Could you let go of that pride feeling?
Yes, I could.
If you could, would you?
I would.
When would you let it go?
Now.
Good. Is there any more remaining of that pride feeling there?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
So give yourself a check in that column and let go.
Okay.
see, when you think about the alternative being worse, what's the feeling there now?
I feel grateful, but it's more of an acceptance, just a
Okay.
fact.
Yes. Just make a note of that. Under what's my now feeling? Just allow yourself to feel that accepting feeling. Just let yourself feel it.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. Could you let it go?
Do I have to?
Well, might be even better.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Would you let some more of it go?
I feel calm.
Good. Okay. So you're back in the peace?
Yeah.
Good. So give yourself a check on the acceptance column there, on the let go. And let's move to another dislike. What's something else, Michael, that you dislike about getting older?
Physical decay.
All right. Let's make a note of that. I think we can all release along with this, don't you? Okay. When you think of physical decay, what is your now feeling about that?
I'm laughing, but it's really a sense of panic.
Okay, just write it down. Okay. And just, where would you put that on the chart? The panic.
It's fear.
Yes. Just allow yourself to feel that feeling of fear. Just remember, it's just a feeling. Can you allow yourself to feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you let it go?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay. It's possible though, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
Good. If it's possible, would you?
Yeah, definitely.
When? Okay, good. Let's go back to it. Feel the remainder there, Michael, of that panic feeling.
Okay.
Can you feel it?
It
That
feels more
feeling.
like grief.
All right. Allow yourself to feel that grief feeling. Could you let that feeling of grief go?
Yes, I could.
Good. If you could, would you?
Yes, I would.
When? Hey, Michael, so just see if there's any more of that remaining feeling there. Is there more of it?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
When would you let it go? Okay, good. Let's check again. Well, maybe not.
Okay.
I'll just check again. Look and see if there's any more of it there.
Yeah, maybe a trace. Yeah.
All right. Just allow yourself to feel what's left. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you decide to let that feeling go? Just let it go.
Yes, I could.
Good. Would you?
Yes, I would.
When? Okay. Is there any more of that?
No, not grief, no.
Okay, what's the feeling there now?
It's kind of like, I feel like I want to hold on to it.
Okay.
I want more of it.
You want more of it?
Of life, yes.
Oh, okay. Where would you put that on the chart? That I want more.
It would have to be lust.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let yourself feel that lust, that wanting more.
Let go of the lust for life.
Just have
That's
life.
hard.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Just feel it. Just feel the lust there, that wanting it. Now, could you let go of that lust
Yes, I
feeling?
could.
Good. Would you?
You
You definitely would, right?
Yeah.
When?
No, yeah.
See if there's any more of that there, Michael. That lust.
Yeah, maybe, no, it feels more like courageousness.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a release on that. Just allow yourself to feel the courageous feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Could you let it go?
I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When? Okay. Can you feel any more? Releasing without the questions here. That's good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay. Let me just ask you, how are you feeling in general about getting older?
No, I feel a lot better. A lot better.
Great. Would you say that that's a gain?
Yeah, humongous. Humongous gain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, write it down in your gains book.
I sure will.
In humongous writing.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's do some releasing now with our home viewer on the likes and dislikes. So you just follow along releasing as I'm working with our viewer at home. So just get comfortable and relax and focus on your specific topic. And what's something that you like about that topic, that person or that situation, whatever it is? Just find a like. And what's your now feeling about that? Could you let that feeling go? Would you? When would you let it go? Just feel the feeling again. Allow yourself to feel the remaining part of it. Could you let it go? Would you? And when? Now find something now that you dislike about your topic. Whatever that dislike is, just write it down. And what's your now feeling there? If it helps you to look at the chart, just use that to identify the feeling. And once you've identified it, Could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? And go back to that. Feel what's left of that feeling there. There's probably more of it. And just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Just check one more time and feel what's there again. Feel whatever's there now. And could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Now let's focus on something else that you like. And it may be a good feeling. But whatever it is, just allow yourself to feel it. Now could you let it go? Would you? When? And feel what's remaining of that feeling again. Could you let it go? Would you? And when? And think of that like again. See what feeling is there now. Whatever the feeling is, just allow yourself to feel it. And could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? And check inside again. See if there's any more of that feeling there. And allow yourself to feel the part that's left. And could you let it release? Could you? Would you? And when? Okay, now let's go to the other side again. And this time, find something else that you dislike about your particular topic. Just make a note of that dislike. And what you're now feeling about that. Whatever it is, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check inside, see if there's any more of that feeling there. If there is, could you let it go? Would you? And when? And when you think of that particular dislike, see if there's another feeling there about that. And whatever feeling is there, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Let's just check one last time. And feel any more of that remaining feeling there. And could you let it go? Would you let it go? And when would you let it go? Now I would carry on, just working on this sheet, taking a like and then a dislike, and seeing what feelings are there until you feel really good about the whole thing. And carry on however long it takes. It may take a page or it might just take a few going back and forth. But carry on until you feel good. And then pause the tape and write in your gains book. Make sure you acknowledge yourself for that releasing.
A little advice. Well, I would think it might be a little different watching it on video than being in live person. But I don't think it matters where you are, how you're getting it. But I think it goes on a very subtle level. And to just hang in there and I just really want to encourage you to keep going as far as you can go with it. Because the subtlety of it is very profound. And I think after all these years that those profound releases and the profound inner experience of what you discover is just worth taking one day at a time, one step at a time, one release at a time. But everyone can do it, and everyone can find whatever it is they're looking for. And keep going and you'll find it.
We're going to take a break here in the class now, but if you need extra time, I recommend you just carry on your releasing and come back when you're ready. But do make sure you give yourself some time also.
I found, number one, the minute I started feeling a little tired, I was able to release that fast. My concentration was extremely good. And my recall on Sunday and Monday of that seminar was extremely good. I had my notes, and I was going through rewriting my notes, and I found inserting things that I had left off when I was there that actually came from the seminar. I found that I could release stress headaches very quickly. Any pain that I felt disappeared that fast. I was able to do that.
It was just real good. A lot of good positive things happened. The relationship with my husband turning completely around, being able to communicate better and in 2 hours' time than probably in 14 years, and he's seen such a difference, my whole family has, in me. I also went to the same seminar that Jack went to, and Jean Marie, and I just had to walk in Friday to the seminar and have several people come up and say, "What are you doing?" And I'd say, "Why? You look so totally different." "How?" "Well, I don't know. There's just a glow about you." And, so it's been very noticeable, I think.
Welcome back from the break. I hope you had lots of good releasing opportunities and used the method on your break, whether it was a few minutes or longer. Also, I want to say a little more about gains. I know we've been mentioning a lot on this course about gains, but I just want to emphasize the importance of carrying this book with you wherever you go and recording your gains, no matter how small. We are all excellent at validating what doesn't work in our lives. Just experts at it. We're pros. In fact, I could ask anyone here or anyone at home to make a list of all the things that don't work about their lives and all the things that are off, and you'd have no problem with it at all. No problem at all. If I asked you to make a similar list of everything that was good in your life, you'd start scratching. You might think of one or two, and then you'd be hard-pressed to think of it. It's only a habit. One of the things we'll be doing by releasing is we'll start to break that habit of always getting caught up in the negative. By willing to face your feelings and let them go, you naturally become more and more positive. Your inherent state is positive. And this book will help remind you that it's starting to shine through. It's you doing it. And it will not only help you with releasing, it will help you in your life. How many times have you been involved in a project, and because you weren't aware of the progress you were making, you gave up? Because you didn't validate. Yeah, I've taken a few steps. Maybe you're not at the goal yet, but you've taken a few steps towards the goal, and we forget that. And we get lost in the next obstacle. And we can do that with the method, too. You can forget. The next time the feeling comes up, you go, oh, God, I didn't make any progress. Why am I even doing this? But then if you take out your gains book and look in and say, well, wait a minute. Yeah, well, just about 10 minutes ago I had this. And also, by the way, it's a good idea to date each page in here and put all the gains from that day on one page. The reason for that is you might think it took you forever to work through a problem. And then you go back in your gains book and you realize 3 days, and it was something you've been working on for 30 years up until that point. 3 days later, after starting to release, it was starting to clear up. So make sure you also put the date on the page when you record your gains. And we'll probably mention gains a few more times because it is a very important part of the course. Validate the positive. What we're going to do now is going to work on another release sheet. A lot of the course, again, is oriented around these release sheets. These are the heart of the course. And again, your willingness to apply yourselves to these release sheets will make a difference between you getting some benefit out of the method and you really flying with it. So turn to the page in your workbook that says have to on top of it, things I have to do. Most of us have long lists of things that we have to do. And the problem with all those things that we have to do is we don't want to do them. When you think you have to do anything, what's your first reaction? No, I'm not doing it, forget it. I don't want to. And we're telling ourselves, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this all day long. You have to take care of your children, you have to pay your bills, you have to. And if we're not saying it to ourselves, our spouses are, our friends are, society is, so that we live in a sea of have-tos. Now, the more you release, the less you feel like you have to do anything. That doesn't mean you don't choose to do it. In fact, it's easier to do all those things that you've been saying, I have to do this, like I have to lose weight. 10 years later, I still have to lose weight. You haven't lost any weight because of that push. So what we'll be doing with this sheet is focusing on the things that we have to feel like we have to do and starting to release some of that feeling that's pushing us into feeling like we have to. Because once we let go of that feeling of having to, then we can choose to or not to. We might discover some of the things we think we have to do, we don't. Maybe we can delegate. If you're a boss and you think you have to do this, this, and this, all of a sudden you release, you might realize, hey, that's why I have employees. And we forget that because we feel like we have to do it. So make a list of some of the things that you feel like you have to do. Those of you here and also those of you at home. Before we start working on it together, I just want to briefly explain how you work with this sheet. As you've already done, you've made a list of the things that you have to do. And what we can start doing is I'll work with some people here and you at home can start working on your own. And also those of you who I'm not working with, don't wait for me. Remember, it's a do-it-yourself tool and we're working ourselves out of a job. But at any rate, what you do is you look at your list And then one at a time, you see what feelings you have about that have to, and you keep releasing until you feel only good feelings about it. And remember to let go of some of those too. So who has a have to they'd like to let go of? Yes, Greg.
I'll go. When I'm at work, I feel like no matter who calls or what it is, I always have to return the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of bothers me because it creates a pressure that it can be some salesperson that I really don't want to talk to, but if they leave a message in my office, like, I've got to return that call.
Right.
You know? And I'd like to change that.
Okay. So see what you're now feeling is about it.
I guess there's some anxiety about feeling like I have to do that.
All right, now
I'd like
just...
to just not have to do it.
All right. Now that anxiety, is that an apathy, a grief, a fear? What feeling is
I
it?
would say it falls best into fear.
Okay, so write down fear. Okay, now just allow yourself to feel that fear feeling.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel any more of the fear. See if there's just a little bit left.
Very small amount left.
Well, a tiny bit that's left. Just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now. Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
how does it feel now?
Good.
Feels
very
good?
Yes.
Okay, well that good feeling, what is that? And is that a courageous feeling, an accepting feeling?
It's more like courageous, like I feel, well, I'll call him. It's
Okay.
my option.
Right, okay, so write that down,
Feel strong
courageous.
about it.
By the way, give yourself a check for letting go of the fear.
Okay.
All right. Now, just allow yourself to feel the courageousness. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. See if there's any more of that courageousness.
I think it's all gone. There might be a small part. It feels
Okay.
pretty well gone.
Feels gone? Okay. You feel more accepting now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Want to let that go too?
No.
I knew there was a little hesitation there.
Well,
But
let
what
go
would
of
happen
all
when you
these
let
good
go of the
things.
courageousness? You
Well,
felt
that's
even better.
acceptance, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
See, the important thing to remember when releasing the good feelings, that the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to feel better. And that's not so bad.
It's hard to imagine.
I know. Well, the problem is feeling good for most of us, especially feeling really good, is an exception instead of the rule. But as you keep releasing, it turns around. The more you release, the more it just becomes, well, yeah, of course I feel courageousness, doesn't everyone? So as you keep releasing, especially if you're willing to also let go of the good feelings, then instead of being so unusual, they become normal. And then what happens is, Lester calls it the bottoms-up method. The more you release, most of the time we go through life like this, you know, bouncing along on the same plane, some peaks, some valleys. These are our peak experiences because we're out of the garbage for a while, and then we're back down in the stuff again, and then we have a peak, and then we're back down. But as you release, it's not that this stops, but it starts going like this. It keeps going up. So what happens is, as you keep releasing, where you used to experience peaks will start to become your valleys. And if you're willing to keep releasing the good feelings, that really accelerates that process. So I'll let you keep going on that one. You might want to do a few more have-tos. And remember, no matter how good you feel, you can just ask yourself this simple question: could it get any better? And if it could, then go for it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
So who else has a have-to? Yes,
I've got
Rodney.
one. Be nice to everybody.
You have to be nice to everybody?
Be
Okay.
nice to everybody.
Okay. And what's your now feeling about that?
Trapped.
Trapped? Okay.
Gets back to a fear emotion.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Okay. Yes.
When?
Right now.
Okay. Now feel the fear again. Just allow yourself to feel the remaining fear.
Still there. Not as much, but it's still there.
Well, just let yourself feel it. There's no rush. Just allow yourself to feel it for a moment. Now, could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Now, there might still be a little bit of the fear left.
A little bit.
A little bit. Now, just feel the remaining fear.
Okay.
There it goes. Good. You didn't even wait for me that time. Please don't wait. No waiting here. Okay, how does it feel now, Rodney?
Feels better.
Feels better? Okay, so what feeling is that? What's your now, when you look at that again, that you feel like you have to be nice?
More of a peaceful feeling.
More of a peaceful
I
feeling?
don't have to do it.
You don't have to. Great. Now you can still choose to be nice, but you don't have to. Great.
I'll probably still be nice.
But look, you'll have more of a choice if you keep releasing. Because a lot of times we think we have to be nice. And if someone's yelling at you and you're being nice back, they might not even hear you. But if you have freedom to be the way, whatever is appropriate in the moment, sometimes to get someone's attention, you might need to raise your voice. But if you think you have to be nice, you can't. That doesn't mean you don't even need to be angry to raise your voice. But if you have to be nice, you can't. So just check to see if there's any more feeling about that.
Just a little itty bitty.
Little bitty. Okay, so just allow yourself to feel it.
It's not as compulsive as it was.
Yeah, but there's still some push, right?
A little bit.
All right, so just allow yourself to feel it. Now, could you allow it to release?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
It's better.
Feels better?
Not,
Okay,
not controlling.
great. Okay.
Maybe I'll just smile at it when I walk by.
All right. Now just see what, so you have a more positive feeling now?
Much more positive.
Okay, and is it where would you put that on the chart?
Oh, acceptance or peace.
Okay, so now let's do one release on the good feeling for a good measure. So just allow yourself to feel the good feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of a loving feeling now.
Right, so just allow yourself to feel it. And
Okay.
could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
More of an infinite feeling going on here.
Right. It expanded.
Yeah, expanded feeling. That's a good word.
Great. Wonderful. Now just keep going. Keep letting that go too. It'll get even better. And make sure you keep going down on your list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So who else has a have to they'd like to release? Craig.
When I'm around certain people, I really feel like I have to hold on to my anchor. And otherwise they'll dominate me or they'll push me around. And so...
Okay. So when you think about that have to, what's your now feeling about it?
I guess it's fear.
It's fear?
Yeah.
All right, so now just allow yourself to feel the fear. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. Feel the remainder of the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Now, could you let it go? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Still some there, isn't there?
Yes. It's
Might be a little bit of a sense that it's not okay to let it go here either. You know what I mean? You feel like you have to hold on around them. Even thinking about them, you feel like you have to hold on. Do you have that sense of holding on?
yes.
Okay, what's that? Is that an apathy, grief, fear, lust?
It's kind of grief.
A grief? All right. And just allow it to come
Am
up.
I guilty?
Yeah. So just allow that grief to come up. Just allow yourself to feel it. Okay? Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
I did.
Yeah. That's a little easier now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so just feel your now feeling again. See what the now feeling is.
I guess I'm feeling kind of ashamed or
Ashamed?
yeah.
Okay, and is that an apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust? What is it?
It's kind of a lust. It's wanting to be liked or wanting to be.
Oh, okay. All right, so just allow yourself to feel the lust. Uh-oh, there it goes. Did you let go more of it?
Yeah, just as soon as I really get clear on what it is,
Yes.
it just
Release
seems
it.
so silly.
Yeah. Discovery is half the process. We spend so much of our time running from our emotions that when we're just willing to turn around and squarely look at what we're feeling in the moment, that's about 80%. Letting go is really pretty easy. It happens, you'll see as you keep working with it, it will happen more and more spontaneously. And it doesn't mean you're necessarily laughing all the time. You might laugh more, you might not, but you'll notice that you become aware of your feeling, and as soon as you become aware of it with the intention of being willing to let it go, you'll notice it will start releasing more and more. In fact, one of the things you'll notice over the week as you're practicing the technique before watching the next tape, or as you work with it over time, you'll notice that even the questions we use become secondary. The questions are really just, they're our lead into the process, but they become secondary after a while.
Okay.
So how do you feel now?
I feel real light and calm.
Okay. Let's do one release on the good feeling too.
Okay.
So just that calm feeling, is that a peaceful feeling, an accepting feeling, courageous? What is it?
Just quiet and peaceful.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the peace. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
Just real relaxed.
Great. Okay. Well, just allow you to keep going with that on your own. Remember to keep working down your list. Okay? Who else would like to work on a have to?
I would.
Chris? Okay.
I feel that I have to share a greater responsibility in terms of responsibilities at home with my mate.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel they should be shared a little bit more equal. So I feel I have to
Right.
do certain things.
Right.
And the feeling that gives me is a feeling of frustration.
That frustration feeling,
Um,
is it an apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger? Anger?
Anger.
All right, so
definitely.
just allow yourself to feel the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay. Now feel the anger again. Just feel whatever's left of the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay, how does it feel now?
That feels better.
Feels better? Okay. So where would you put that on the chart?
Probably a little bit more clarity, courageousness about approaching the whole idea of responsibilities and sharing them equally.
Good. Okay, so let's do one release on the good feeling too.
Okay.
So just allow yourself to feel that courageous feeling. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Next week.
Next week.
I guess I'm going to need the courage to
Tell her.
things straight.
Okay, you seem to be releasing it anyway. Again, even a good feeling, you don't need to hold on to it. Again, the basis of that is something else that I don't know if we've mentioned enough yet. The good part is inherent. Where the courageousness, acceptance, and peace, you don't have to do anything to put them in there. What we're doing is actually uncovering them. Now, we'll let those go too eventually. When they're all gone, you're just imperturbable, where nothing and no one can disturb you. But in that state, you're absolutely powerful to accomplish whatever you want. So you're never giving anything up in your path to imperturbability, except the pain.
Okay.
Okay? Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can keep going as I'm working with our home viewers. So keep going down your list and keep releasing as I give your turn. So just allow yourself to focus on one of the have-tos on your list. Now just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling about that have-to. Now trace it to one of the underlying emotions, the apathy, the fear, the lust, the anger, the pride, whatever it is. Could you allow it to release? Could you? Would you? When? Now feel the remainder of that feeling. Feel whatever's left of that now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now take another look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. It might be more of the same feeling, or another feeling might be pushing up. But in either case, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When? Now take another look at that have to and see what your feeling is about it now. Just allow yourself to get a sense of your now feeling about that. Now remember, if it's a positive feeling, let's do a few releases on that as well. You could always feel better. Now just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow yourself to let it go? Would you? When? Feel your now feeling again. Just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When? Take one more look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Okay, now if you've let it go completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. And if you're feeling good now, give yourself a check in the feeling good column. And what I would suggest you do is pause the tape for a moment and continue working on the sheet to make sure you've released everything on your list of have-tos before you move on.
I did find myself with more clarity. I'm one of these people, I'll get 6 steps down the hallway and go, oops, I forgot and got to go back. Well, this week it was only like a step and a half. So I figure, hey, I'm making improvements and gaining in terms of the clarity that you mentioned. If you can release that consuming feeling, it allows you to focus more on the things that really do count or do need to be dealt with.
Right. When my husband and I moved here, we were renting a house, and he was beginning